I believe my magazine is similar to music magazines such as Q because I use the same colour scheme pretty much throughout the project and for the masthead. Also, the genre of artists Q focused on are that of a similar genre to mine. I chose this colour scheme because I think it fits well with the chosen genre, as red, black and white are typical colours that people associate rock with. All of the colours contrast and work well together, which overall adds a sophisticated style to my magazine. I used a mid-shot for my front cover image due to the fact that this is typical magazine convention, as most magazines tend to use this type of shot for their front covers, as it portrays it to be professional. On my double-page spread, I decided to change the colour scheme to blue, white and black. I decided to use blue instead of red because I feel it represents the personality of my artist and her music. It signifies peace, relaxation and is a very calming colour. These are the effects the audience should feel when they listen to her music. The genre of my magazine is indie rock. The audience of my genre are usually in their teens. I chose this age range as I feel this is the age when you start to identify and express yourself through music and fashion, and obviously my magazine has a specific genre of indie rock. My target audience are unique and have a true passion for music. They are interested in reading into specific artists and love going to gigs and festivals, which will all feature within my magazine. They are typical teenagers, so they also have a love for partying and socialising. Therefore, within my magazine, I have included write-ups on upcoming events and parties that they could go to. You would see my target audience most likely in cities, chilling at parks or in coffee shops. The font I chose to use for my masthead was Heavyweight. I chose this because it had quite an edgy style to it, which I felt fit well with my genre and my target audience's personality. After looking at a range of media institutions, I have came to the decision that IPC Media would be appropriate to distribute my music magazine. This is because it is the UK's leading consumer magazine digital publisher. IPC distribute many music magazines such as NME, which is a popular music magazine. This would therefore give my magazine a good reputation, being associated with the same media institution. In addition, IPC have loyal customers who may be interested in a new music magazine such as Red Light. Furthermore, because NME are aimed at a completely different target audience, there will be a gap in the market for my magazine. My music magazine is aimed at teens aged 15 to 18, both male and female, however a slight bias towards male because of our chosen genre of music, indie rock. I believe my target audience are passionate about music and my chosen genre, as they attend gigs and are loyal to their preferred bands or artists such as Ben Howard and the Kooks. They believe music plays a big part in their life. This is due to the fact that they have 24/7 access to their music through their phones or iPods. My target audience are the types of people you can imagine being in a band or playing a musical instrument. Therefore, their passion for music comes from their commitment to that. I began to attract my target audience by choosing particular popular artists I know my target audience would be interested in. This was to put onto my front cover for my cell lines. For example, I chose Ben Howard's Only Love because from general knowledge I know he's becoming very popular and his fan base is increasing as he's becoming better known. His music also fits the genre of indie rock, therefore I know my target audience would be interested in him. This would encourage reading about him in my magazine. The masthead of my magazine would attract my target audience due to the boldness of the font and the way that it is positioned on the front cover. My masthead is in the colour black, as this connotes power, sophistication and style, all of which relates to indie rock music, which will in turn attract my target audience. The artist pictured on the front cover of my magazine is young and dominant, therefore it will attract both male and female consumers. Females would aspire to be like her, whereas males would use her for sex appeal and find her attractive. The clothing that I dressed her in is particularly iconic for indie rock music. I know fashion is important to my target audience, which is why I wanted to make sure my model had a sense of style. On the contents page, the list format of the articles makes the contents page easier to use for the consumer. The style of which is presented is also formal and sophisticated. Also on my double page spread, the questions asked by the interviewer are questions that my target audience would be interested in the answer to. Furthermore, I went and asked teenagers of a similar age to my target audience to comment on my 3 products and give me feedback on my success and what could be improved. This video can be found on my blog. Before the project, I hadn't used the Apple Max before to complete any of my work. Throughout the project, to document my planning, I've used iMovie to develop short videos for my research. I've learned how to insert text, experiment with effects and alter timings to my videos. As well as developing these skills, I've also been introduced to Prezi. This is a website that enables you to create engaging presentations that are much more interesting than the average PowerPoint. I've used this website many times to document processes, analyse magazines and present images. Additionally, I've also learnt how to use Photoshop. My first attempt of using the format was when creating my prelim, however my skills weren't as developed as they are now. Throughout developing my products, I've improved my skills greatly and I'm much more familiar with the tools on the programme. Furthermore, my group decided to create our blog using Tumblr. I wasn't that confident when it came to using the website, however a member of the group was, which is why we decided to use it. This also gave me a chance to develop my skills and learn about how to use a website. Overall, I've learned a lot about technology throughout this project. Before creating my magazine, I had not been familiar with many of these formats and websites. Since creating my school magazine, my knowledge of using Photoshop has increased considerably. For example, I've been able to experiment with many of the Photoshop tools and then put these skills to action when it came to developing my products. I feel a lot more comfortable using this format now. I've also developed my skills on the Apple Macs, as before I was cautious when it came to using them as I wasn't used to their layout. Using iMovie to edit my videos has enabled me to be a lot more confident when using the Macs. Producing the products has also given me an insight to the different tools that are available, such as downloading fonts, which we use when downloading Heavyweight.